Okay guys, we're back in Helldivers 2 and oh my, a minor patch has just been released by the guys at Arrowhead and this one looks relatively good. We've got some major updates that have been pushed through, some balancing, primary, secondary weapons, support weapons and stratagems with a load of fixes. They've also got some known issues that we're going to go through today and hopefully you guys will enjoy it. On top of that, we have also got some talk of Arrowhead being a part of the Sony studios. We're going to squash out everything in this video, so if you haven't already, smash that beautiful blue thumbs up and subscribe with post notifications turned on. It'd be greatly appreciated. On top of that, make sure you check out our sponsor Control Freak, the #1 in controller gaming aiming. That's right, we made it rhyme, and if you head down to the link in the description today and use code CloudPlays at checkout, you'll be able to get a cheeky discount of 12%, which is much better than 10. So with that being said, let's dive on into the news at hand inside of Helldivers 2. So starting off, we have a tweet coming up from the Helldivers 2 account stating support incoming. We have issued a patch for PC players, PS5 patch is coming soon, and that introduces the planetary hazards, balancing updates and more. When we dive into this stuff is absolutely incredible. I'm actually really proud of this one because this one seems to be so damn good and we're going to take a look at it today. But we've got the major updates for patch 01.000.100. States right here, fresh new patch now, notes Helldivers. Major updates are the planetary hazards active. And we've also got many planets now have additional environmental changes that will appear at random while you are deployed, from fire tornadoes and meteor showers and many more. Fire tornadoes, meteor showers. This all sounds so freaking cool, and you can hear it in my voice how excited I'm getting about this because this stuff is just absolutely amazing. I love it when games that do this sort of stuff with the environmental changes. It seems to go undermissed by a lot of games, but this one is absolutely brilliant. Can't wait to see my first fire tornado. If you manage to come across it before I do, please do tweet it at me. Links down in the description. I really want to see it. But on top of that, we've got some balancing changes with the Eradicate missions. Now, we already know that people were farming this for the XP runs and it was a quicker thing to do, but they state right here that the Eradicate missions now require more kills and enemy spawns more often. The time to complete the mission was previously shorter than intended and should now usually take twice as long to complete, and I think that this is valid. I think this is something that I'm really glad has happened. It is a bit of a nerf in that regard, but it's just one of those that you guys are going to have to take on the head. We just can't do an exploit now. It's not a negative. That's just my personal opinion. Next up, we've got the primary, secondary, and support weapons balancing. Now, we have got some nerfs in this, and this was something I said to be careful with, but they have also increased quite a lot as well. So, realistically, we've now actually got a balance. This one does make me quite happy because there's some things in there that you guys will want to have been pushed up. So, I'm actually really glad. This is actually where they've listened to the comments because I've seen a lot of comments about both of these sides of things, and it seems to be working really well. But we've got the breaker. Decrease the magazine capacity from 16 to 13 and increase the recoil from 30 to 55. Absolutely huge, brilliant job. I think that is something that needed to be done. A little bit of a nerf, but nothing too heavy. With the railgun, they've decreased the armor penetration, decreased the damage against durable enemy parts, which again is relatively good. I think that it's quite a big nerf to that weapon personally, but people were just literally running it 24/7. It was the only thing that was really worthwhile using. Next up, we've got the flamethrower, which they've increased the damage per second by 50%, which is massive. I've always wanted to use the flamethrower, although it's never been a viable option. So now we can start making some builds around that and running that into our general loadout to see how that one pans out. We've got the laser cannon, where they've increased damage against durable enemy parts, increased the armor penetration, and improved the ergonomics. Essentially what that means is this is going to feel loads better to utilize. We're going to have a load more damage against the durable enemy parts, and the armor penetration has been increased as well, which genuinely means that this will now also be a viable option alongside the railgun with the amount of damage that it's going to be pushing out. As far as the Punisher goes, they've increased the total ammo capacity from 40 to 60 and increased the stagger force. Increased the damage from 40 per bullet to 45 per bullet, which again now makes this a bit more of a viable option, because not only are you going to be increasing the damage per bullet, we've now got another 20 bullets to add into there, and the stagger force is now going to be pushed in quite heavily. So the Punisher may actually be worth using now, alongside the Breaker, Spray and Pray. Increase the armor penetration, increase the fire rate from 300 to 330, and increase the number of pellets from 12 to 16 per shot. They've decreased the magazine size from 32 to 26, so it essentially means less ammo in the pocket, but a bigger hit on impact. For me, absolutely perfect. I think that some people are going to be disappointed because they just like the railgun and they like the ability to just be God mode and just run around and do what they want to do. But realistically, this genuinely is the typical definition of what a balance genuinely is. There are ups, there are downs, there are bringing things into a viable medium, which means that this one works very, very well. Now, as far as the stratagems go, though, we've got the enemy shield backpack, which they've increased the delay before recharging. Now, I don't really get that, but I think that that's something that we'll just have to take on the chin. They've increased the delay before recharging, and that's just kind of hitting neither here nor there, but you guys can still hug it out and defend numerous people in one go, so joke's on you. Anywho, we've got the 380mm and the 120mm orbital barrages, so we've increased the duration of the bombardment, decreased the spread. Now, the spread was probably the biggest issue when it came to these, so it's kind of one of those where you may be able to utilize it a lot more without people getting peed off that you've just killed them consistently. But overall, as far as the balancing goes, I'm not angry with it. I think it's actually pretty damn good, and I want to know what your guys' opinions are down in the comment section below. I know a lot of you were going to be peeved with the Breaker and the railgun changes, but realistically, it was never going to be a basis of being able to just boost everything up and take nothing down, because that's not what really a balance is. I know it's what we wanted, but it's just not always the case. Overall, though, a really healthy balance change when it comes to the weapons at hand. And then we've got the fixes. We're going to put the fixes on screen because realistically, nobody's really ever bothered about the fixes per se. So you guys can see that on screen now. Or if you want to read it yourself, all of my sources are always in the description at the bottom. So feel free to go and check that out. But overall, a pretty decent and very well-rounded patch in this update. They state right here that it is a minor patch, but for me this feels like quite a big one. I might be wrong and you guys may well ground me for it, but this feels like quite a big patch with a lot of decent changes, a lot of fixes, and the balancing for me is just near on A grade. They obviously have some known issues, which again we're going to put on screen, but if I read all of them, this video is going to be well bloody long and I don't want to do it to you. And again, you can check it out via the description in the down belows. But yeah, a lot of things that they do know are problems, and some things that are taking them a little bit longer to fix than anything. The games may crash after dropping several high power stratagems in succession. There is a lot of crashing problems going on, and we are aware of it, and hopefully they can get those things fixed very, very soon, because that's probably the biggest key point that I'm seeing as far as an issue inside of the game, where everyone's complaining about the crashing and the sort of bug reports and stuff like that that are happening. For me, I'm having a flawless time with this game. I've not had really any crashes, maybe one or two over the whole due release since drop, but yeah, this one seems to be quite a good one and I'm really happy with it. For me, this is a huge update, and that's just my personal opinion. Let me know yours in the comment section below. And before we get into the next bit, real quickly, if you haven't already, make sure you get involved in our giveaway today. We're doing these later on in the videos, just so to make sure that the dedicated subscribers are the ones that are getting involved with it. If you guys want to get involved with a free copy of Helldivers 2, or if you've already got the game and want the super credits instead, then we'll be going to be giving away the money equivalent of the game pricing in super credits. If you want to get involved with that, stick a glowing red heart in the comment section below, because I'm feeling bloody loving today, boys. Let's get some red hearts in the comment section and get that love spread around for democracy. But our final piece of news for today is with regards to the talk on Sony and Arrowhead. We obviously covered this a bit yesterday, where we stated that they are not owned by Sony, they have not been paid out by Sony, they have not been bought by Sony, and they are not a part of the Sony family. Just to solidify this one, there is a comment that was put up by the CEO of Arrowhead, which was something that you guys probably should see, mainly because I think a lot of people are misconstrued on the consensus that Arrowhead Arrowhead has been now acquired by Sony, says new rumours. Announcement supposedly coming soon, but the CEO has said this is fake unless I'm missing something. Also, it's a really shitty old logo from 2008 or so when we first started the studio. So this is not true. If you do see this on social media, do just squash it. Don't let people farm their tweets and stuff like that. Just squash it out, ignore it. It's nothing to do with you, because realistically, Sony have not acquired Arrowhead at all, and it's come straight from the horse's mouth. That's all, unfortunately, we've got time for today. Thank you so much again for joining us today, guys, and thank you for all of your support on these Helldivers videos. It's been so overwhelming, but so bloody nice to be able to talk to so many of you about this game and just join up together about something that we all really enjoy. Thank you so much again for watching. Appreciate you all. Like, subscribe, and up until later on today, I'll see you in the clouds.